Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we will be looking at AQA A-Level Psychology 2021 Paper 3 Exemplar Answers for Gender, which you need to know for AQA A-Level Psychology. I hope you enjoy this video and find it helpful. Let's get started. Please note that these answers have been produced with knowledge of the mark scheme but have not been approved by the mark scheme themselves. There are 3 assessment objectives, AOs, in psychology. In this video they are color-coded. AO1 Knowledge, purple. AO2 Application, blue. AO3 Evaluation, red and green. Question 1. Describe the role of chromosomes in sex and gender. 4 marks. Chromosomes are structures made from DNA found in the nucleus of most cells. Humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, for a total of 46. Each pair carries genes that control physical and behavioral traits such as eye color, hair color, or predispositions to certain conditions. The 23rd chromosome pair determines biological sex. Females have XX chromosomes. Males have XY chromosomes. The Y chromosome carries little genetic material but determines male sex. All egg cells carry an X chromosome. Sperm carry either X or Y. The baby's sex is determined by whether an X or Y sperm fertilizes the egg. At early stages, all embryos have similar external genitalia that resemble the female form. Around 3 months into pregnancy, if the embryo is male, the testes produce testosterone, triggering the development of male external genitalia. There is usually a direct link between chromosomal sex and both external, penis or vagina, and internal, testes or ovaries, genitalia. Atypical sex chromosome patterns occur when the 23rd chromosome pair deviates from the typical XX or XY pattern. Atypical patterns can lead to distinct physical and psychological traits and differences in development compared to individuals with typical chromosome patterns. Beatrix is 3 years old. At her nursery, there are lots of toys to play with, but Beatrix nearly always chooses to play with the dolls and the toy kitchen. When she comes home from nursery, she tells her mother about other girls at nursery but hardly ever mentions any of the boys. Question 2. Use your knowledge of gender schema theory to explain Beatrix's behavior at nursery and at home. 4 marks. Beatrix is 3 years old, so will have developed a gender identity of herself as a girl, and along with that, is developing a girl schema. Her girl schema is an organized group of concepts which consists of all the knowledge she has of girls and how they look and behave. At nursery, Beatrix plays mostly with toys that fit with her girl schema, such as dolls and the kitchen. At home, Beatrix talks mainly about what the girls have been doing as she pays more attention to girl behavior, because she is actively trying to expand her girl schema or in-group knowledge. Beatrix talks rarely about what boys do because she disregards information that is not part of her girl schema, i.e. outgroup knowledge about boys. Question 3. Discuss what psychological research has told us about the influence of social learning on gender development. 16 marks. Social learning theory, SLT, primarily developed by Albert Bandura, explains gender development as a process rooted in socialization and experience. It suggests that children learn gender roles and behaviors by observing, imitating, and internalizing the actions of others in their environment. Children learn gender-appropriate behavior through observing others, models, particularly same-sex role models such as parents, siblings, teachers, peers, and media figures, TV, films, books, games. Imitation is more likely if the child perceives the model to be similar to themselves, e.g. same sex, attractive or high status, and engaging in behavior that is rewarded or approved. Identification occurs when a child relates to a model and wants to be like them. This psychological process means the child sees the model as someone like me or someone they aspire to be. Identification influences who children choose to imitate, and this is often someone of the same sex who behaves in a way that aligns with societal gender norms. Children observe others being rewarded or punished for gendered behavior and learn from these outcomes. E.g., if a girl sees her sister being praised for wearing a dress, she may imitate this to gain similar praise. If a boy is mocked for playing with a doll, other boys may avoid the same behavior. Children are directly rewarded or punished for gender-typed behavior. Boys may be praised for being active and assertive. Girls might be encouraged to be nurturing or tidy. This differential reinforcement supports the development of gender-specific behaviors. Media sources such as television, books, advertisements, and games provide a wealth of gender role information. These portray stereotyped behaviors and reinforce what is considered appropriate for each gender. The widespread portrayal of men and women in stereotypical roles, e.g., assertive men, nurturing women, influences children's understanding of gender roles. A strength of the social learning theory as an explanation of gender development is that it is supported by research evidence. For example, Smith and Lloyd, 1978, showed that when adults believed a baby was a boy, they encouraged more adventurous play, while the same baby dressed as a girl was praised for being pretty and passive. This highlights how differential reinforcement based on perceived gender can shape children's behavior from a very early age, supporting the idea that gender roles are learnt through observation and reinforcement. Therefore, such evidence backs the claim that social learning processes are a significant factor in the development of gender roles. A limitation of the social learning theory as an explanation of gender development is that it underestimates the role of biology in gender development. For example, research suggests hormones like testosterone influence gendered behaviors such as aggression. Buss, 1989, also found cross-cultural similarities in mate preferences, indicating biological factors. These findings suggest that while social learning contributes to gender development, biological predispositions may shape behaviors that are then reinforced socially. Therefore, SLT may not provide a complete explanation of gender development without considering innate biological influences. A strength of the social learning theory as an explanation of gender development is that it is supported by specific experimental studies showing imitation of same-sex models. For instance, Perry and Bussey, 1979, found that children aged 8 to 9 imitated same-sex models in a study where boys and girls observed models choosing gender-neutral fruit. Children later selected the fruit chosen by their same-sex model. This suggests that children learn gender-appropriate behavior through observation and imitation of same-sex individuals. Therefore, this research supports the social learning explanation that identification with same-sex models is key in gender development. A limitation of the social learning theory as an explanation of gender development is that modeling may be constrained by pre-existing stereotypes. Perry and Bussey, 1979, found that children only imitated same-sex models when their behavior was in line with traditional gender stereotypes. For example, children did not imitate same-sex models displaying gender-inconsistent behavior, e.g., a boy wearing a dress, suggesting imitation is filtered through existing beliefs about gender. This implies that while observation is important, children may not adopt all behaviors they see, especially if those behaviors conflict with internalized norms. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. Bye.